Hello, everyone. Ian Hamilton with Good Virtual Reality here, joined by JoyReign and JDun. Thank you both for joining me. Where in the world are you tuning in from today?
We are in Baton Rouge, Louisiana.
Oh man, she ruined it. I was gonna say from the metaverse. Yeah, I love it.
Yeah.
Well, I don't get to start off my podcast this way usually. So I'm really excited to ask this question. How did the two of you meet?
Oh man. All right. All right, Joy. I'm gonna let you knock this one
Take it.
out.
Oh,
Nope.
you're gonna
Nope. This is your turn.
Okay. So we were both in the music industry and I was on stage and he saw me performing and he actually was sitting at the table where my parents were, but he didn't know it at the moment. And so they had their little interaction. And years later, we we just started like talking and we were always like in the same similar circles, as you would
hmm
say, because we were both in the music industry. And then all of a sudden we just started talking and
I was like,
then
wait a
we
minute,
were
you're absolutely gorgeous. And you know what? I need to get with you. Now let me tell you, she told you the cutesy funsy version. Now let me tell you when I knew I was gonna marry her. All right. This is the moment when we knew. So Quest 2 came out in October of 2020. Was super excited, bought it day one, come home from Best Buy. She's in my ear, in the AirPod. I put the Quest on. And 5 minutes into first steps, I rip it off. I go, oh my God, you got to see this. She says, bring it to my house right now. We were dating at the
mhm.
time. So I bring it to her house. She puts the Quest on. She dances with the robot inside of first steps. And
First
then
steps.
she takes it off and says, I have to have one. I said, what?
Yeah.
Now she didn't go any further than that. The next day, I get a call from her at Best Buy going, "What size should I get? Should I get the 128, the 256?" I was like, at that exact moment, I knew this was my wife. And the story goes from there.
That's amazing. Oh, that's so beautiful. I love it. That's going to be probably the theme of our conversation is trying to understand your love for this medium and how it's related to your relationship. So I know you're both tuned in. You're the first guests that I've had on the podcast, both wearing Vision Pros as we talk. So
Yeah.
you're in separate areas of your house, wearing Vision Pros. So the question I was so excited to ask that I don't get a lot of people who have experienced this is how often are you wearing Vision Pro and experiencing something together? And what do you do when you do that?
Awesome. All right.
Yes. Oh, go
So
ahead, Jana.
there's multiple versions of this answer. Uh,
Yes.
so so for us, honestly, every single week, literally, that's not fabricated marketing,
Yep.
anything. We use our Vision Pros every single week. Just last
Yep.
week, we watched Zootopia 1 and
1
Zootopia
and 2.
2, 2 separate days. And so this is how we do it. So you talked about it. So we could do the local share play, but that's boring. I want to see a persona. So I'm like, I want to be comfortable on my couch with my snacks, and she's comfortable in her room in her studio with her snacks. And so she's in her room, I'm in mine, and we're on the couch. And so I look over to my left, her persona's laying next to me, eating her good snacks, laughing and joking about Zootopia, and we're doing the same thing. So we do that a lot. Movie watching, there is
Yeah.
nothing on the planet that's better than Vision Pro when it comes to that.
Yeah, and
So
then
that's the first version. Yeah.
for business, we handle calls and meetings and whatnot in our Vision Pros as well, and so, that's on a weekly basis as well. That's why we say we use it, weekly, if not multiple times per week,
Absolutely.
in our Vision Pros, so
Amazing. Yeah, movie watching. I've got a friend. I experienced this a couple weeks back. There was a company doing screenings in Quest headsets in a movie theater here in New York, and so I'm going to the theater, and they were showing what was it, Insidious, and then I think they're showing Interstellar in 3D a couple weeks ago. I
mm.
didn't see that one, but then I came home and watched. What was it? Have good luck, have fun, don't die with a friend locally. and we're both in Vision Pro, and we're having a debate about what theater we're gonna go watch it in. Um, and then we, watch this whole movie just perfectly on my couch, right? I get my snacks in there perfectly, and man, I've got Alamo Drafthouse here in New York that is it's a great movie experience, but they just changed the rules there to
Mm,
allow, to do your mobile ordering on your phone instead of the sort of serene, focused experience of
Hmm.
just going into a cinema and focusing there for 2 hours, and I have the same experience as the 2 of you that there's the Vision Pro is the best screen in my house by a long
yeah.
Come
mile.
on.
Like, it's yeah, so it's like there's no comparison here, and then, alright, so I needed to say all that, and then I just wanna see I wanna get, like, ho do you find difficulty in conveying what you get out of Vision Pro to your audience and to other people?
Oh man. Joy gonna go first on that, and then I'm gonna come piggyback. I'm gonna piggyback.
So it depends on who you're talking to because when you're talking to someone who's never experienced VR, XR, to put it into words, you have to really choose your words carefully of how you describe what you're seeing to give and try to give the most accurate description of what they'll be able to experience if they've never experienced VR, XR, and then on top of it, Apple Vision Pro because this is top tier, you know, and so yeah, it's basically depending on who you talk to. But as far as if you're talking to someone who's experienced it, and know what you're talking about, all you have to say is this is the top tier, this is the best of the
Yeah.
best, then they'll be like, "Oh my gosh, okay, I have to experience it."
So we have a perfect example of this. We were just in Houston, celebrating
Mhm.
my 40th birthday with my sister and my
Woohoo.
mom and all that good stuff. And so we wanted to gift her. We had a gift in our bag. It was a Quest 3S. She's coming from a Quest 2, so for her it's
Yeah.
a major upgrade, right? So she's already been in VR, plays Beat Saber, does that type of stuff. My grandma, not my grandma, my mom as well. She's in her 70s, plays VR. We very successful
Yeah.
rate over here of a family
Yeah.
that's in VR, right? So before this, I had a thought. We enjoyed was talking. I said, I'm gonna let my sister see
Mhm.
the Vision Pro. She never seen it before she even gets into the Quest 3S because she hasn't
Mhm.
seen color pass through. She hasn't seen any of that. She puts the Vision Pro and we're just so happening watching Avatar in the house. My mom had not watched the third one yet, and so we were watching Avatar. And I
Yep.
said, it's pitiful because I wish we all had Vision Pros because you would see it
Yeah.
so much better and in 3D. And my sister was like, I don't believe it. That makes no sense. So we put the
Mhm.
Vision Pro on her. She's like, oh my god. Like, the whole time
Mhm.
she said I would always be in here. And then I like put like a little solitaire up game in front of her that was a volume while she was playing and she was just like, "Oh, this is crazy. I've never seen anything like this," right? And then we give her the Quest 3S and even though she has similar experience, the hype level went down to like, "Oh, this is cool. Yeah, this is nice." But that Vision Pro, how much they run again? And that to me was proof that if you expose people the proper way, and I've heard this on your
Yes.
podcast in almost every conversation you've had, even with the Gravity Sketch folks and everything else, we've been listening to them. It comes down to that user experience. If you can just get the right person in and expose them properly, just like all of us getting our mind blown with VR at one
Yeah.
point of our life, you really can get people to fall in love with these platforms, but it's almost evangelistic. It's one person at a time. We don't have a Best
Yeah.
Buy or someone who's trained like us, someone who's on fire for XR to
And
be in the
actually
Oh
cinemas.
know
gosh.
the technology as well because onboarding is so crucial
Come on,
to this
Joy.
technology as
Yeah.
well. If you have a bad experience, you will never want to put it on again. It's like, okay, I've been there, done that. I don't have to do it again. I've gotten motion sick or whatever, or no interest. But if you have someone that really takes their time, walk you through it, hold your hand, and also know your interests as well, it's like perfection.
I love that. That is so good. Yeah, and I appreciate you bringing. It's a theme, right? It runs through everything. I saw it at the jigsaw puzzling event last weekend where These people are like, most people are fitted right, but then you get a person who's like, it's a little blurry to me, and it's like,
Yeah.
hold on,
Yeah.
just let me come over there, hold the headset really close to your face, and let me tighten the back for you because that's
Yeah.
surely what your issue is. And right after you do that, suddenly their experience goes from being crap to being really good
Yeah.
in a
Yeah.
really short span of time. Yeah, so it's wild, and then you go to these stores, and yeah, you get a terrible experience in the store where the person is just barely knows the tech.
Mhm.
And yeah, I didn't experience that with the VR Villa people that were there. Was they were wildly well trained at their jobs of introducing newbies into VR. Like they're jumping back and forth between 5 different apps and
Yeah.
like able
That's
to figure
awesome.
out exactly where the virtual content is and point it out to the people that are there. And without people that are like they go to VR in their free time and enjoy the heck out of it. Without those people really invested in it, it ends up being, not a great
You know
experience.
what? Shout out also to Steve Lucas. We love that guy. He's a great
Yeah.
individual. He was out there grassrooting, pushing it at Connect. We were in a line at
Yeah.
Connect, and he had like 4 quests. He's like, well, while we're here, we might as well play some jigsaw puzzle stuff, you know. So shout out to Steve. But
Also,
Steve, go ahead.
you've played it. So, yeah, tell me about your experience with it.
Well, see, this is what I'm about to do because I know he's going to listen to this, and I'm going to say, "Hey, Steve, bring it to Vision Pro. What are you doing? I got to keep the theme going in. Bring it to Vision Pro. What are you doing? It should be on Vision Pro day one anyway. We love it. We were actually early beta testers
Early.
of
Yeah.
it to where we gave him some feedback, and he was not. He wouldn't mind us saying this. He was like, "I got to go back and rework this entire app." Um, and that's what we loved about him. Not only did he go rework the entire app, he made it an incredible experience. I think at the
Yeah.
same Connect, you got a chance to try it in mixed reality as well, and just see the different elements he's been adding, different camera tooling he's been adding, and it's a magical experience. And I think they do like a meetup every single week. So we always recommend people if you want to see like good social VR, Jigsaw Night is like incredible.
I agree. It's so great to hear you guys echo that. And it's weird because I'll talk to people who are invested in VR and shout out to Puzzling Places, right? Puzzling
Yep.
Places is an amazing app
Yeah.
and an amazing experience for anyone out there who's listening to this. They've got 3D puzzles in there, basically made from 3D models of scans, so you can piece together a 3D scan of a location, and it's cut apart just like a jigsaw puzzle. But then you've got, Steve Lucas's app, which is Jigsaw Night,
Hmm.
and it's the traditional jigsaw puzzling experience recreated in VR and mixed reality, and you try to describe that to people, and they don't get it.
Yeah.
It's like this
Yeah.
mismatch, and then, I always yeah, I have this difficulty even explaining, like, what the people just why would I wanna wear this big thing on my face to do jigsaw puzzles when I can just spend 20 bucks on a jigsaw puzzle and hunch over my desk? And that was one of the things I found at the jigsaw event last week, and there was this mother and daughter, um, who went into headset, and they're playing it for maybe 30, 40 minutes. First time in headsets ever, and they were describing having they've attended this conference for speed puzzling, which means that they're hunched over a desk or
Mhm.
hunched over a table,
Yep.
and they're sitting there piecing these things together for a half an hour, for an hour, just never stretching, never coming up. And the headset was actually a physical relief to them. Um,
Yeah, could only
to
imagine.
stretch around and walk around a room all of a sudden, and I've never heard that before for a headset where it's like, "Oh, I could see this, like, helping me, reminding me to stretch and get up off my butt."
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know, VR is absolutely magical, and I don't know how else we're doing our part, Ian. We're out here making the content, good VR, right? We're out here making the content, and we've been doing it for almost now for us 5 years, you even longer. Just trying to push the narrative of why this technology is so magical. So hearing a mother and daughter say, "Oh, actually using VR is almost feels better than doing it in real life." that's a win for us.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, and also it goes to show that there's so many different use
say
cases
that.
that this technology can be used for, not only for just games and whatnot, but for health, for mental health, for education, for all types of things. So we have to get out of that box of that it's just games, but it can be used for so much more.
Yeah,
All right, so I got a couple desert island questions that I think would be good
let's
to
do
just
it.
throw your way. All right, so you're stuck on a desert island. What headset do you take with you?
Oh my
Ooh.
gosh.
Oh, he cut us. And I like his face.
Oh.
The audio listeners are only going to be able to see. They're not going to see his face when he says, "He's like, yeah, now. What are you going to say now?" All right, Joy, you want to go first on this?
I'll let you go first because I have some. Okay, go ahead.
All right, it's hard because man, I'm thinking gaming. I'm thinking productivity. I'm
Yeah,
thinking
because we have like majority of the headsets, and so we
yeah.
use them for different use cases. So it's like, which use case will I want the most on the desert
I'm
island?
gonna be honest with you. You know what? I got to go all in. I'm putting my chips in right now. I'm gonna say the Vision Pro, and
I know he
it's
was going to say that. I knew you were going
controversial,
to say
but
that.
it's because it has become my flat screen gaming machine. I do not play on PC, Xbox, or PlayStation any longer. If I'm playing any one of those three things, it's inside of my Vision Pro. I do not touch a
Mhm.
monitor anymore for gaming. Um, so I have that. Productivity, nothing beats it. Because you
Mhm.
didn't say I couldn't bring my MacBook, so I can still have my virtual display. Um, and to getting work done, there's really no other device that I'm able to do everything I'm doing, like these business meetings. We don't have codec
Yeah.
avatars yet on Meta side.
Yeah.
Uh, Galaxy XR, I'm still trying to find a use case. We both have those. We could go on a
Yes.
whole mirage of how we have those two of those as well. Um, but yeah, Vision Pro and the rate of updates and that Apple is doing, it's not talked about enough. I still believe Vision OS 27 is
Yeah.
going to be massive. So yeah, I'm going with it. All right, Joy.
Yeah, I mean, because we're in the ecosystem, everything we have is Apple. And so
Hmm.
that ecosystem just easily ties into what we have already. Um More so on games or when that the games are great on Apple Vision Pro as well. I was battling between the MetaQuest 3 and Apple Vision Pro, and I think I would have to give it to Apple Vision Pro. I really would.
Yeah.
All right. Well, so I've ripped your hearts out by asking you this question. Now, the next desert
Uh oh.
island question is: okay, you can bring three games, three projects, three software packages. Doesn't matter the platform. Forget the headset.
Okay.
What three software packages do you want to make sure are downloaded on your headset on that desert island?
Hmm.
Okay. Oh, this is
Let's
good.
see.
And how long are we stuck on a desert
Right.
island?
You're stuck there for, let's say, 2 weeks. 2 weeks.
2 weeks.
Okay.
All
It's
right.
not that bad of a stay on the desert island. It's I'm not this isn't a lifetime stay, yeah.
So it's got to be so. And I'm with Joy. So because they know where I'm stuck and she ain't with me because we go everywhere together. So it will be multiplayer experiences that we can do
Multiplayer
together.
experiences, yes.
Um, So let me think about it. I need something that's gonna make me feel sort of at home. So here's gonna be one controversial one for sure. Horizon Worlds. Oh
Oh.
yeah.
You're gonna have to tell me about your all right, give me your journey in Horizon Worlds. I know it was really important and
S-
big for you guys, and
Yeah.
you asked that question of Bosworth, that got him to say that he's, keeping it on life support for
Yeah.
X amount of time. Tell me about your journey. You got more time here to think about your desert island
Okay.
answers. Tell me about
Yeah.
your journey in Horizon Worlds.
So that goes back to we got to go back to Quest 2 launch. And
Mhm.
it's a very interesting story for us because everything me and Joy do, even when we were dating, we do it together. So
Mhm.
right when the keynote was I think the 2020 keynote when they were showing off Horizon Worlds in alpha, um, I got a beta and I got an alpha invite. I submitted the thing, I got an alpha invite. And so I was so excited about it. But at the time, we were just fascinated with Horizon venues.
Mm,
So we would go to
yeah.
venues every single day watching the comedy shows, the concerts. It didn't matter if
The
it was an
concerts.
aquarium. It was the people. We'll find for us, we love to talk, Ian. We're social people.
You were
So,
social people, yes.
yeah, so we were talking to people from Argentina in there, and it's like, "Oh, man, you from Argentina?" We just dancing on the avatars, having a good time. Um, I get an alpha invite. I go in there, and it's a desert island. Like, it's deserted. Nothing's going on. I see a taco truck in VR. I'm like, "What is this? What's going on?" And but Joy didn't get an invite. She submitted as well. And I
Mhm.
told her, I said, "If you're not invited, I'm not doing it." So we put down Horizon for like a year until December 9th, open beta. And the only reason why I remember that of 2022, the only reason why I remember that, no, 2021, yeah, 2000, yeah, it was December 9th,
The
2021.
9th.
Yep. So it was right before we got married. And so
Mm.
she saw it. I didn't pay attention to it. She started seeing people go in and do talk shows, and she got excited. So I'm gonna let her pick up the story from here, and then we'll kind of wrap it up from there.
Yeah, so there was this talk show called Dame's Live. Shout out to Dame. He was doing this talk show, interviewing the creators at the time. And I was like, oh my gosh, I have to tell Jay Dunn about it. So told him about it. We went in, we met Dame. It was like, oh my gosh, we're talking to people from all over the world. And then um we started creating as well and got inspired in creating as well. And I created a talk show called Joy in the Morning. It was a place that helps people become more joyful, optimistic, and yearning for positivity. And this was during the pandemic time because, again, social, like to talk to people. And through talking to people, hearing that they're going through different things and I was like, okay, I can't talk to every single person. So I'm going to create this talk show so we can all communicate together and show that we're not alone in this. And so with creating Joy in the Morning, Meta recognized it. We won what it was, the World Talk Show of the Year
Yep.
in 2023. And
And
so it
World of
just
the Year
took
as well.
off, and
Yeah.
World of the Year as well. And so it just took off, and we started building this community and recognizing the community that is such talented people, because at that time you had to build with primitive shapes. That was 15 shapes that you had to just build with your hand in headset. And so people were creating so many different things. But anyway, um, and so once we got to that level of creating and meeting all different people, I'll let Jay Dunn finish it off.
So this is the part that people ask us every time, and we always give the same answer. They say, "Well, so what?" I still don't understand. You could have built all that in Rec Room. You could have built all that in VR Chat. What was it about Horizon? It was the people. What people do not realize, the
Hmm.
time of open beta of December 2021 to about 2023, late 2023, it was majority adults. It was not kids.
Yes.
So it was adults finding sanctuary, finding a haven. We're building these primitive shape. There's doing art shows where people were making Charizards. And I'm talking about like something that looks just like
Detailed.
Charizard, but with 15 primitive shapes. And you'd be like, how? And it's the thing, because there was really no monetization at the time. It was almost like, "Oh, well, let me just show you how it worked and how I did this." And people were sharing how they were building and how they were coding and how they were, "Oh, well, I made this game." Well, you could just have the code for it and you put it in your world. And it was just a dramatically different system. But then when kids' worlds and retention begin to build, it kind of changed the narrative a little bit. So those core adults were still there. We were still communicating and building community with the same exact people. Well, there was this other groundswell of kids, adaptable worlds that began to be a big thing. But it
And
always,
that were pushed
yeah,
ahead of the adult world, so people didn't
yeah,
even know adults were still there.
yeah.
That's rough, and I love that you talked about the primitive shapes because, did that go away at some point? They started I know it was gone by the end that they started focusing on the desktop editor, but, like, I guess I'm trying to figure out when other than the kids flooding the space, what caused vibe shift? What happened between that
Man,
beautiful beginning and the end.
I gotta say it. So we were blessed to go to Connect in 2023, which was the first Connect back since the pandemic. And we were at the campus and we did like this thing called the Summit, and they had a bunch of the popular creators there who were building a Horizon early days, and they were showcasing and showing what would eventually be custom model import and being able to move away from primitive shapes to be able to do different things and like, oh well, you can import images and you can import these things. And I was in that little I guess panel talking with the different folks at Meta, and I said, you know what? I said the soul of Horizon is we're losing it because the second I have to now get into Blender, all of these adults were people who never were gamers. They were not game makers. They weren't 3D modelers. They just found these shapes and was able to figure out how to manipulate them and make pretty cool things. And that magic was being removed because now you got to use Blender. You know, you got to learn a whole nother medium. You got to learn TypeScript, which is a whole nother way to program. It's not code blocks any longer. And I said it then. I said, the soul of Horizon is being missed. And we begin to, and I'm going to let Joy kind of wrap it up, but we begin to shift from a social experience to now being a gaming focus experience.
Yeah, and so once that happened, and plus the shift of having all of these, competitions that focused on getting rewards for making games, then the because so many people were participating in those contests and making so many game worlds, people were getting the perception that, hey, this must be the what people want because they're making
Yeah.
all of these game worlds instead of the social or the adult ones. They were more geared toward kids because the kids are the ones that spend the time in the games. And so because of that, then I guess they felt that, hey, we should go in this direction of gaming because this is where everyone's building toward.
Yeah.
However, the incentive was to build for that, if that makes sense.
Yeah. And so, but before you look,
Uh,
I want to just clean it up because we want to say this. We grew with the platform. We've been with the platform for like 4 years.
Yes.
So, we roll with the punches. When we had no
Oh, of
legs,
course.
people joked about it. Then we got legs. We was like, oh, we got legs now. But then no one else had legs. And then it's one of those scenarios where we wanted to see mobile. This is the thing. And I want to say this publicly, especially on this beautiful platform of yours. Thank you so much for sharing it with us. We didn't
Yeah.
ask. You asked almost every top creator in Horizon. None of us asked for it to be shoved down people's throats. We did not ask
Right.
Meta, please put us in the store when they type in mini golf that you don't get walkabout, which should be the first one. Um,
Yeah.
but you get the mini golf built in Horizon. None of us asked for that. We wanted
No.
Horizon to be just like VR Chat, just like Rec Room, an app that you choose to go in yourself. And that way, if you enjoy it, great. We wanted Meta Horizon to be its own separate app from Quest. We never wanted it
Mhm.
to be imploded and connected into. So even though there was benefits of us being widely available, the biggest thing for us has always been we love VR. And so
Yes.
please, that's great we have mobile, but don't get rid of VR for mobile. Don't,
Yeah.
let's have both. Like, or if you don't want VR anymore, leave VR alone. Let just you can maintain it. You got money. Maintain it on this side, right? It will continue to build it. The community will take it over. But yeah.
Yeah.
well, I mean, this is probably a good opportunity to ask you, A, what do you think they need to do to I got that post from, Ruth Diaz, where they said, where she said, "There's a way to make amends here and, give the ability to export worlds to other platforms." Is that something you would wanna echo, that you would want to be able to take your worlds out of Horizon elsewhere?
You can already do that actually.
Yeah, you sure can.
The desktop editor already allows you to export the geometry, not maybe not the colors itself or things like that. Like it'll export the entire model. You can't export certain parts, so you have to delete parts and then do it piece by piece. But you theoretically can already do that. I think for us. We said it on our podcast, and we'll say it again. We just want the soul back. Get back to being social first, gaming second. Um,
Mm,
and it's nothing wrong with having retention. There's nothing wrong with driving and being exciting about the possibilities of what mobile growth can bring. But can we be honest? I believe you was also at Connect this year and heard the news when they was talking about Studio and Engine. They were mentioning that this is going to allow 100 people in your instance in VR. This was like a big win. Boz even came on stage the second day of Connect and said, "Hey, we're excited about VR and Horizon Engine." And then now that's gone. So of course, when Boz had an AMA, I had no choice but to be like, what are we doing? I believe in this platform. Joy believes in this, and so many. I,
Mhm.
I have to set the record straight. And Joy, you shut me up after this. Um, People think it's two of us that's doing this. It's just JDun and JoyReign who are screaming it. Yeah, we might be loud out there and making noise. We're advocates for it. But it's thousands in the Discord. It's hundreds
Yes.
of folks who are top creators building incredible experiences that you'll never see because the
Yeah.
stigma behind Horizon is, oh, it's for kids. Well, that's the same people have said. We posted a post about Rec Room, and we're seeing nothing but adults cry about it. And it's like, isn't
Yeah.
that funny that it's more adults who are saying they're upset for it leaving, even if they're not using it anymore? The sentiment is still, this
mm,
meant something to me. And I
Yeah.
believe Horizon still can do it. I believe that Meta still could turn it around. We do not want a Roblox clone. We have no desire. We've already said this publicly to them. We don't desire a Roblox clone. We want Horizon to be what it is, an incredible social platform built that with people by the people. That's what we want. And if that doesn't happen, we'll continue to go down with the ship. Jay Dunn and Joe Ray will continue to push Horizon until there is no longer Horizon, because the question comes up, why not VR chat? We went in there, we did not find community. We went in Rec Room, we did not find community. Day one in Horizon, we found community. So we go where the community goes. That's our response.
that makes sense. Wow, there's so much to think about there. I feel like the community in VR chat is almost purposefully hidden, that they're hiding off in their own private worlds, trying not to not deal with the I've so many times I've gone into VR chat and I go into their they've got the little platter of beginning worlds, and you go into the world that's
Mhm.
doing the experimental avatars thing, and you just see madness in there for like just these snakes resizing themselves from little itty bitty snakes to giant snakes, and they're doing this playground thing, and I'm convinced that the once you get your footing in VR chat, you go off to your own little corner of it and don't really interact with that core experience, that beginning experience again. So now that the VR worlds I mean, it's there. You can still go there. Your studio, I assume, is still up and running then
Mhm.
for the foreseeable future. That's literally the quote. Um, do you do you have any drive to stop using Horizon Worlds, or are you gonna keep using it, until they pull the plug? What's the sort of thinking there?
Joy?
Well, yeah, our thinking is to continue to use it. However, we're still seeking direction. One thing that we like to do is we like to get clear, concise information. And so once we get all of that from Meta as far as what direction they're going with Horizon, then we'll know exactly how we're going to move and what, decisions we're going to make. But as far as what we can see now or the foreseeable future, we have no problem with staying with Horizon and continuing to build and stick around for the community.
Yeah.
And oh, go ahead,
No,
Jada.
no, I was gonna say Joy became a game developer because of Horizon. I have to give her flowers. I can't stop giving her
Oh,
more and more. She made a game called Crystal Frenzy. She decided she wanted to throw her hat in the ring of learning Blender and learning TypeScript. I think, and you would absolutely enjoy it. It's a pixel. It's kind of like a throwback to old school platformers. You could play
yeah,
it.
it's my love letter to retro platformers, and so
Yeah.
yeah.
You could play it in VR and on mobile. And so, there's going to be a continuation of worlds built by our company, Onyx Leaf Media. Joy is the CEO. I'm the CMO, the Chief Metaverse Officer. And we will continue to, yeah, we're not getting rid of the metaverse term, by the way. We got a podcast called Get
I'm
Into
ready
the
to fight you
Metaverse.
guys on that one. Yeah,
Yeah,
I'll go to
yeah, I
war with you
knew it.
guys on
That's
that
why I
one.
said it. That's why I said it. No, but we believe in this. We believe wholeheartedly. So we're never going to give up on that dream. And people can laugh at us. They've laughed at us then. They'll continue to laugh at us. But the same passion we have for XR, the same passion we have for Vision Pro, is the same passion we have for Horizon Worlds and every metaverse platform.
And
We
we do yeah, we do wanna make this clear, like, Horizon is not like the metaverse. People just think that we think, like,
yeah.
Horizon is the metaverse. No, the whole construct of the metaverse concept, that's what we believe in.
We have our own
Mm,
definition we even given it. We said the metaverse is the
Yeah.
digital equivalent of physical existence without physical limitations. So,
mm,
yeah,
Yeah.
so we've even gave that quote to Meta and say, "Hey, if you wanna just, put our name next to that and make that the new definition, we'll take it." But, yeah, the definition of the metaverse, once again, is the digital equivalent of physical existence without physical limitations. So we were actually blessed to teach a few HBCU students over a few years, actually, in a classroom, in workrooms, and we were
Mhm.
showcasing them and showing them the power of VR and XR. And one of the most magical things happened. One of them said, "Well, why should we build in a metaverse?" They're not even talking about Horizon. They're talking about doing
Mhm.
anything virtual reality related, XR related, augmented reality related, spatial computing related. Um, and I looked at them, and Joy looked at them, and we had this quote. We said, "Well, in the world, the sky is the metaphorical limit. But in the metaverse, there is no sky to limit you." And they
Mhm.
all paused and they went, "I get it." I said, "So yeah, in the real world, if you wanted to build a club, you had to get concrete, you got to get bricks, you got to do all this, and you got to be on the ground. Well, with the metaverse, you could build a club on Pluto. It doesn't matter. You can do whatever you want." And they were like, "Okay, I get it." So I can finally use my imagination and do. That's what the metaverse allows us to do. That's what metaverse
mm,
technology allows us to do. We get to play walkabout mini golf on Mount Olympus. We can do incredible things. And so, we laugh when people think that when we say metaverse, we're only referencing Horizon Worlds, where
No.
that's not the metaverse. That's not what we mean. It's a metaverse type, but not the
mm.
metaverse. So, yeah.
I love that. So much to respond to and think about there. Um, the Orion Drift comes to mind when you were talking about the sky's
Hmm.
the limit thing, where you've got other instances sort of at an angle up above you in your head, and you can see people playing up there, and you don't have gravity, you don't have to deal with that, so you can have other instances sort of always there, ready to visit and go to.
Yeah.
um, all right, so I've given you a few minutes to think about your desert island question. Let's go back to that on what are the things you wanna play on your desert island? The the three software packages you take with you.
All right. So, I got it rapid fire, Horizon Worlds, Walkabout Mini Golf, and Demio battles to whoop Joy in every single day. All right,
Not
that's
Demio battles.
Demio battles, baby. Let's go.
Okay, well, I'm gonna choose home sports because
Mm.
I'm gonna beat you, on those.
Home sports was in my
Let's
list originally. Go ahead.
home sports, let's see, Steam. Let's see if I can get Steam on there because I
Yeah.
can have a whole array of
That's cheating. You're
games.
gonna get all
No,
of Steam on there. That's
No,
genius.
tell them
you
the
That's
said
truth.
all right. No,
Tell them the truth,
you
Joy.
got it.
Which game you
okay.
only playing one game in Steam anyway. So watch this. Watch this. What's your one
So my
game?
obsession is Hello Kitty Adventure Island. That is my like cozy game of choice where I just relax. I have my tea, I have my wine, and just relax playing that game. So I love that game.
Ooh, I'm I'm gonna have to check that one out. We're a cat household here, so we've gotta
Oh, you're gonna
gotta
Yes,
love
check
it.
that one
Hello
out.
Kitty Adventure Island. Oh my gosh, if you get it, I'll give you my code. We can visit each other's islands. Oh my gosh, it's a whole thing. And then what's the last one that I would
I
have?
already know it for you. I know what it is.
What you
It's
think?
Gazzlers.
Ah, you're right.
She
So
loves
I love
Gazzlers.
Gazzlers. So I'll play that too. It's like a shooter game.
Mm. All right. So we're at 40 minutes of this podcast here, and
Already?
I wanna sort
It's
of yeah,
it's
we've been
like
talking. Yeah, we've been
yeah.
um all right, so I want to talk a little bit about the future. One of the things that I encounter when I start talking about Vision Pro is the cost. It's right up there in the front. You talked about those first time demos you gave family. I put my brother in the Vision Pro, and he's going through the Apple TV menu, and he's like, "What would be really amazing if they had the Super Bowl." And he's like
Mhm.
scrolling through the menu, and the next thing in his menu is the Super Bowl. And he goes into the Super Bowl experience there, and he's like, "Wow, wow, wow," doing the reaction thing. And then
Mhm.
the price comes up, and it's just, it's not the same thing. And the
Yeah.
2 of you have, the 2 of you have the co-watching experience
Mhm.
available to you at any moment. And so I wanna understand what the value is of that co-watching experience. Like, if there's a fire in your house, are you going for the Vision Pros as one of your first things to take out, because of
Absolutely.
the co-watching? Alright. And then, what do you think the future holds? Because, did you encounter this conversation a lot where people just think it's going to be at this price and
Forever,
gonna
yeah.
be this inaccessible? And yeah, do you think it's gonna change?
Oh, man. Alright.
Yeah.
Go ahead, Joy. I'll 'cause I got a lot to say on that, so you go ahead, Joy. Go ahead.
Well, that's one of the first things, especially like on our podcast, when we tell people that we have two, or even when we're not on our podcast, when we're just in general talking to people, telling them that we have two Apple Vision Pros, they're like, "Oh my gosh!" And we're like, "Well, yeah,
They're like, "Let
because
me
of the
borrow
line of work."
$20."
Because of the line of work that we do, we made this investment because we report on this technology, and we also we showed that this technology is accessible to everyone. And for the people who look like me and Jay Dunn, and and any other person who may not believe that this technology is for them, it's very important to us to show that, hey, this technology is for anyone, and that the price is going to come down at some point,
Yeah.
but we're reporting on it right now and early enough to let them know that, hey, these are the things that's accessible to you. Because what we found out is that representation is everything.
Say that, Joy.
If I don't see that someone that looks like me has access to this technology, then subconsciously I think, hey, this is not for me. This is nothing that I should aspire to be or something that I should look into because I don't see my representation. And so you don't know how many stories that we've had of people seeing that people like us that look like us have this technology, and they're like, "Oh wait, let me take another look. Let me look into this. This looks so cool. I never would have known because and they're saying thank you all for showing this." And so this is why me and Jay Dunn do this as well, to show that representation, that
Yeah.
is this technology is for everyone, and that you should be looking into it because it is the future.
Man, let me get some hand claps for Joy. I love that. Let me say this. Not only does representation matter when it comes down to just, you know, being you, but then husband and wife. So we've had so many
Yeah.
people like reach out to us on our YouTube channel or on a post and be like,
Yeah.
I didn't even know this is something I could share with my wife or I share with my partner or, and so
Mhm.
we decided a long time ago we would do these things called VR date nights, so we would
Yeah.
showcase us playing a game together online and post it on YouTube. That's kind of how all of this started to happen, where we begin to more integrate ourselves into these platforms. You ask, if the house is on fire, what is Jay Dunn and JoyReign going to grab? You better be sure the Vision Pro is being thrown in a bag. Probably the Quest 3 too. The Galaxy XR. It's gonna be all about XR devices. X Real, we got everything, man. But Vision Pro is gonna
Yeah.
probably be number one on that list because, of course, the cost.
The
Um,
cost.
but when I tell you, you say, man, it's worth it enough for us to. You would ask, do you have TVs in your room? Yeah. Do you have wait, even when the pandemic happened, we put a whole projector in the back of our house to watch movies. Ask us how many
Yeah.
times we watch movies on that big screen back there. We don't.
Every now and then.
Yeah, we don't because we have these Vision Pros now. We have company coming over. We don't have 5 Vision Pros, so we gotta watch
Of
TV like
course.
regular people, right? But when there's an opportunity to watch a awesome movie like an Avatar, Zootopia, whatever, and especially in 3D, it's nothing like it. So then you say the future, where does the future go? For people who think the Vision Pro will never, or the Vision product will never be priced at a point to where more people can access it. Well, right now everything is high price, right? You know, we got the whole Steam situation with Steam Frame. They don't know where they're gonna be to price their stuff at. You got PlayStation 5 being increased in cost. And here you have this Vision Pro thing, and I saw Parmalucky did this perfect example of how the Vision Pro was manifested. Basically saying they went to a company, company A that says we got these panels and it's we can show you these cool samples. And like Tim's like, yeah, I want 5,000 of those right now. And they're like, well, no, Tim, this is samples. We can't do that. Apple make something they reached he said it perfectly. They reached 10 years into the future and brought something back to us, and we're all blessed who have Vision Pros right now to have it. But let's be honest, when we first reviewed it, we said it's a vision, keyword, it's not a product yet. And we're now 2 years into it. I'm starting to see the product. So when my sister asked
Mhm.
me how much did it cost, did I say 3,500? I said no. I said you can get it on for like 1,600 on eBay now. I still recommend people don't go buy a new one right this second. Go buy
Yeah.
a used one because though that price 1,600, oh my God. We bought a Quest Pro for 1,500. Yeah, that's right.
Mhm.
We sure did. They won 2 of those, by the way. Um, and so for us, it was hard to spend that amount of money on 2 very experimental things. But once you put the Vision Pro on and you being in VR for as long as you have as well, you know there is no other headset, no other OS. It's so many light years ahead that every other company, Pico, Meta, Google, are literally chasing after what it's doing. And that was the M2 version. We're now on the M5,
Mm.
and it goes
Yeah.
beyond that. And so for us, we do believe that we may be a year. I've heard the folks on your podcast say, "Oh, we're 5, 10 years away from it becoming." No, we disagree. We think within a year or two, we're going to see a Vision product for around $2,000. I don't think it's going. I don't think Apple is different. They're not Meta. They're not Google. They're not going to try to
Mhm.
win you over with, taking the brunt of the cost. They're gonna say, nope, this is a premium device. You're gonna pay premium for it. But I think a $2,000, $1,500 price, even if it is shrunken down, maybe they go plastic instead of aluminum. Maybe they don't decide to not do eyesight, but I don't know if they will ever change that. Um, if they go that route, and guess what? And I'm saying this because the chips are going to go down in cost. Different things. They just did it with the MacBook Neo. It took them years to make a product that was $500 in the Mac line.
Yeah.
However, we're there now. And same thing with the iPhone. It took years before we had an E-class iPhone or iPad mini or, iPad Pro and all these different versions. I think we're just years away. Not 5, 10. I think we're 1 or 2 years away from them releasing a product that's in that price range.
Yeah, I love it. I love that context. It's so, refreshing to hear.
That's
You
right.
know, like, anyone listening out there is gonna try to, like, come down on your optimism with their own pessimism. They're gonna try to counteract you. But, like, I'm in the same boat, and I've been watching some of the software. I mean,
Come on.
I watched you had the video out there with Tempest, out there in Retrocade, and I watched you
Mhm.
had the last one in there, and gosh, I went and found Tetris in the back room, and it's like, "Holy
Yeah.
moly, this is amazing." As soon as we better get on, like, a call or something together when they add Donkey Kong, because I am not
Let's
leaving my headset
Oh
do
when
it,
my
they add
gosh,
bro.
Donkey Kong,
yes.
yeah. Um, but, like, I love this. There's so much opportunity for them to do amazing things.
Yeah.
Um Jupiter's my favorite home environment, and they added, I think, the rings around Jupiter.
Yeah.
Mhm.
I don't remember seeing the rings around there when it first launched. And I'm looking at Artemis launching yesterday, and it's like, you know what they could do tomorrow? You and I could go in there and watch uh the launch, and they could have the Artemis
Yeah.
ship go over our heads on the moon, and we
Yeah.
could
Yeah.
feel like, get this immersive experience. And like, take it a step back, and, like, I can't wait for the simulator games. That's the opportunity that I think Apple has an enormous opportunity on. X-Plane, iRacing, those are the ones that they've announced recently with PC support. But, like, you get those in
Mhm.
the Mac App Store, and suddenly, you're running these amazing visuals on
Yeah.
your Mac computer right there,
Yeah.
and that's streaming the outside exterior of your environment. And then the M5 or the M2 Vision Pro is keeping you nice and grounded in your cockpit with all the local rendering. Like,
Yeah.
I'm convinced many people who even, like, use a Quest and a PC today, and they're running virtual desktop, they're
Yeah.
doing all the things right. I'm still convinced that a lot of the time they're not getting 90 frames per second.
Nope.
They're, like, getting tricked by the system doing space warp and stuff like
Yep.
that. And they're
Yep.
like, you come out of 45 minutes with space warp, faking your frames for all that time. And it's like, my head hurts a little bit. Why does it hurt? I can't really put my finger on it.
Yep.
Here's this
Yeah.
opportunity to Apple to, like, rock solid get us at 90 or a 120 for 2 hours, and you come out just feeling pure exhilaration after driving that car.
Oh, yeah.
There's so much
Look,
opportunity here for
look,
them.
we joke. There was a keynote last year's keynote. I think it's when they were jumping out of the plane for WWDC. They were showing all the different OSs, right? Well, Phil. So this is a story that a lot of people have not realized. Phil Schiller is a huge. He was the marketing. He's a huge sim person. So he was doing VR sim stuff for years. Now he was
I
flying the plane in that little short on Vision. I was like, I think they were trying to tell us then, because Phil was like, I do sim work. He wants the Vision Pro to work with Sims. I think we got Phil Spencer to thank for, or Phil Schiller, I'm sorry, to thank for having the iRacing and X-Plane stuff working. But I think it's phenomenal. Yeah.
I agree. I totally agree. You brought up, so when they announced Vision Pro, what was this, 2023? I found Phil in the crowd after the announcement. I'm like, I made my way up to him, and I'm like, so I hear you've got a sim rig, right? What headset are you running on your sim rig? And he's like, I probably shouldn't answer that question. And I'm like,
Hmm.
yeah, you shouldn't. But, like, I'm guessing it was a Valve Index. My
Yeah.
my gut tells me he was probably
Uh-huh.
running a Valve Index. And, uh, if you think about the mechanics of what he's probably doing, right? Here's the top Mac guy in the world,
Come
right?
on,
He's
bro.
the head of the Mac ecosystem, and he's gotta be running PCs, PC-based headsets, and crazy amounts of RAM, crazy graphics cards.
Yeah.
And if you just imagine him just, like, needling away at his teams, like, "Come on, guys,
Come
you
on,
can do
guys.
this.
Yep.
You can get us. Yeah,
Right.
if you we can do this."
Yeah.
I want my Mac cockpit and my Mac driving, and we're so close,
Yeah.
right? I can't
So,
wait.
so close.
Yeah.
Did you see Mark Schramm's? I had Mark Schramm on this podcast. Did you see his $3,000? I think I might be misrepresenting which it's DOF Reality sim rig, but he's got the sim rig in the corner of his living room, where it's given him all of his motion, and he's got
Mm.
it. He's got a Vive tracker on the back seat so to can track
Mm.
the chair and where it is. And
Wow.
he
Oh,
built, like,
wow.
a quick change system so he can swap out the flight controls for racing controls within, like, 30 seconds. And he's ready,
Oh.
right? Like, and in that interview, or when I'm talking to him, he's like, no, I haven't used the Vision Pro for any sim stuff right now. He's got
Oh,
96 gigabytes
no.
of RAM inside of his
Oh my
PC. He's like,
goodness.
you could be, yes. And I'm like,
Yeah, he's about
oh
to have a
God, like,
ball. Yeah.
yeah, right? I can't wait, man. There's gonna be so much coming.
I
Alright, so,
Mhm.
we're almost at an hour here. What do you think other people should know about what you do and about where the VR market's going?
okay. Joy, you want to take that first?
Yeah, I'll let you go.
Okay. So the main thing when it comes down to us, so not only do we make content as content creators, not only do we, as honestly media, also do consultation with companies, we do marketing for VR games and experiences, but we also kind of help businesses look at what's happening with the metaverse technologies and ask how can they bring that in or help them onboard them into the metaverse, right? Um, when you look at all of that, it also sums up what we expect from the VR, XR industry futuristically and even now. First of all, is being able to sustain. So everyone this year is looking at, well, how do I sustain my business in VR? How do I keep making these strides like what Golf Plus is doing, where they're like, okay, we've mastered Quest. Well, now it's time to go to PC VR, and now it's time to go to Steam and maybe try different, functions. Resolution Games is doing the same things, kind of backwards. They mastered VR, and then they're going back to flat gaming and trying to see how they can kind of blend the two together. Um, for us, our expectation for VR is for it to just grow, not we don't need it to grow fast, we just need it to keep growing. Um,
Organically.
organically is the thing. So we named this year to be the year of the XR reset, right?
Mhm.
Funding is drying up. It's causing more companies to have to be a little bit more frugal, a little bit more steadfast on how they're
And
going to.
intentional.
Ooh, see, that's why you should have went first. She's got the words. She got the words. And so the excitement level is we're driven. You need folks like us. And you're one of us, right? We wake up every day trying to see this platform become mainstream. I know just like you were at Cupertino the day that Vision Pro was announced. We were at home watching it on our TV, just coming back from AWE a week before that. And the
Mhm.
taste in the air was so palpable because everyone was like, "Oh my God, it's about to happen! It's about to happen!" And I'm still holding the video hostage. When Tim goes up there and says, "We got one more thing," and he shows, I have tears coming down my eyes because for me, literally true tears. We thought for that moment, and this is just forgive me for having this thought, but we're finally mainstream now. VR's finally made it. We have not quite made it yet, everyone, but um, it's going to take us getting up every single day. It's not always a monetary thing from us, even though all of us would like to be financially stable doing what we do. We freaking get up every single day believing that this technology is going to be not just a revolution, but an evolution of everything that we're doing so right now. And so that's why we do it and that's why we believe it. But Joy, go ahead and take it away. I've said enough.
Yeah, I mean, taking it to always looking in the environment that we're in and the way that the economy is right now. Gas is going through the roof. There people in even countries are looking to cut down on working and whatnot. And what comes in at this time of VR XR headset would work perfectly because again it's going to those pandemic type environments right now because of the situations that we are in now economically.
Yeah.
And so we can't take those things out of context and we can't just throw them to the side. This technology is here to stay. We fully believe that, and that we have to evolve with the times, and this technology will help that along the way dramatically, like
Yeah.
exponentially.
There's so much. I love that. I feel like we could probably talk a whole another hour on doing a battle over the word metaverse and
Come on,
how it
buddy.
represents everything.
Let's
But
go.
I think we'll save that for another podcast. Yeah, we'll battle that one
We
out.
have to come back.
Yeah, please come back. I would love to talk to you more. This has been an absolute joy. Um,
Yeah.
and there's it's there was that Neil Stevenson came out with his statement against headsets recently, and Joy, I'm looking at your face right now. It's very well made up for the Vision Pro. That was one of his comments about why headsets aren't going to be used was because of the effort that people put into making up their face and looking good. And like
Mhm.
you only got to do that once for your Vision Pro scan, and you're good to go.
That's right.
And
Absolutely.
and, you use the headset at home a lot of the time, so it's like the 20 I'm not convinced the 24/7 wearing it out in the real world is gonna happen, but I do think we're gonna use these things as our home computers
Oh, yeah.
and laptop replacements real fast,
So
as soon as the prices come
That's
down.
one of our selling points, especially me as a woman, to other women, be like, "Look, it cuts down on the time that we get dressed and stuff. Look, all you have to do is make yourself up a one time, scan yourself, and then you'll be ready. You'll be fashionably ready for
so
any meeting that you have in case you don't have time to do that, or if you just want to have a relaxed day, you know?"
yeah, and I have to say this too because, you know, we did read the whole, write-up he wrote about the metaverse and headsets and goggles and everything like that, you know, saying that, "I thought 20 years ago that we won't be looking at a rectangle, and 20 years in the future, we won't be looking at a small rectangle, but then we're still gonna be looking at a rectangle." I don't believe that. We're more like you, Ian. We want the holodeck at home. Okay. So that's right.
Yes.
All right. So we believe this. This is the future we believe. You'll have something like the Meta Ray-Ban display glasses, something like it when you're out and about. But then when you go home, you take off those little glasses who barely can do everything you want, and you put on that lightweight VR device that's either synced to a powerful PC in your home or some sort of really powerful mobile chip that you'll be able to then go in and do your holodeck type things and really escape and do whatever you want. That's what we want. That's what we believe.
Yeah.
So if we were in charge of the companies, that's the future we'll be heading towards. Two separate pieces. Hey, you got your glasses when you're out. I don't need it to be VR. I don't need it to disappear into the world when we out there. But when we back home and I'm ready to now relax and do what we're doing like me right now, this is what we love. Now, we say all of that to say, when I look at Joy's persona and I look at her beautiful face every single day, I see my wife. I have never seen that in any other headset ever. Yes, we've gotten
Yeah.
close with avatars that stylize her. We found a cool looking one in VR chat, but nothing looks like her except for this, right? And so for me, I begin to think about this is the technology that my mom would adopt. Because
Mhm.
when
Mhm.
she sees a FaceTime from this, she doesn't second get who is that? She just goes, "Oh, hey, baby, where you at right now? You outside? Yeah, I'm outside, Mama, at Apple's campus. Well, that's great. Tell Tim I want a free phone. Um, that's my mom in a nutshell. Hey, mom. Um, but that's literally how it is, right? And so, this technology is so beautiful, and we're just excited about where it's heading, and we're just going to keep being at the forefront of it.
Yeah.
Thank you both for the time. This has been an amazing conversation. It's JDun and JoyReign with the Good VR podcast. Can't wait to have you back sometime.
Yes, because we have
Thank
to
you so
battle out
much.
the metaverse. Let's go.
Yeah, let's do it. Yeah. All right. I'll talk to
Yes.
you guys later.
All
Thank
right,
you.
peace.
Bye.